When the Realme 6 Pro was announced, a lot of people actually dismissed this phone majorly because of a couple of reasons. First of all, the major reason was that the Realme 6 was offering 70 to 80% of this phone for a lesser price. And the second thing was that we've got Poco X2, which is a very good value for money phone at this price bracket. So you might be right about it till some extent, but then the thing is, the Realme 6 Pro still is one of the best phones under 20,000 rupees. I have been using it since the last 2 months, and today I'm going to tell you my experience with it, and I'm going to tell you why you can actually consider the Realme 6 Pro if you have a budget of 18 to 20,000 rupees. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with this video. But if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and don't forget to check out our channel sponsor Glazeding.com. These guys have got one of the best curved tempered glasses as well as these matte hybrid cases for a majority of devices, including the Realme 6 Pro. Their Realme 6 Pro, Redmi Note 9 Pro, Poco X2 collection should be up on the channel very soon. So if you guys are planning to buy any of the new smartphones, do check them out. Use the promo code Gizmo for 10% discount. On that note, let me get started with my Realme 6 Pro review. I want to start with performance on the Realme 6 Pro. So here Realme has given you the Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G along with 6GB of RAM and UFS 2.1 storage. If you ask me about the day-to-day performance, I feel Realme has overall tuned the 720G better than what Xiaomi has done on the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Here you can see that this phone easily handles the 90Hz refresh rate. Everything's damn smooth with Realme UI, and I have not noticed any lags or stutters or anything wrong with the animations or while multitasking, switching between apps, scrolling on social media. Everything's been damn smooth, and in day-to-day usage, even memory management was not an issue on the Realme 6 Pro. The 720G handles the 90Hz refresh rate very easily, and I personally used my phone at 90Hz all the time. I never switched to the auto or even the 60Hz option. So in day-to-day usage, no complaints. Snapdragon 720G has been doing a great job. The performance felt more or less similar to the Snapdragon 730G on the Poco X2, and I did not notice any visible difference. And that is surprisingly true even when it comes to gaming. This is why I said that Realme has tuned the 720G much better, because if you watch my Redmi Note 9 Pro PUBG review, that phone had frame freezing issues, there were a couple of lags, and overall the gameplay was not that smooth. But if you will check out my Realme 6 Pro review, you will see that the PUBG performance is more or less very similar to the Poco X2. Recently, after the last update in PUBG, I have been testing these phones back and forth, and Realme 6 Pro and Poco X2, both of them deliver a very similar PUBG performance, and both of these phones are one of the best if you want to play PUBG under 20,000 rupees. So PUBG performance gets a big thumbs up from my side. Poco X2, Realme 6 Pro, both of them are great. But one feature that I really like on this phone is the inbuilt screen recorder. So on the Poco X2 you have a screen recorder, but that is only limited to 30 FPS. But here the screen recorder can record up to 60 FPS, and you can actually record some nice high quality gameplay. So gaming was really a breeze on the Realme 6 Pro. I did not notice any major temperatures. I've played PUBG with GFX tool also. So for more information, go watch my PUBG review on the Realme 6 Pro. I don't have any problems with the gaming performance on this phone. But if I have to nitpick, I will say one thing is that in spite of the 90Hz display, majority of the games do not support this on the Realme 6 Pro. I've tested out a couple of titles, and only Riptide GP Renegade was working at 90 FPS. So I don't know what's wrong, because when I play all of these games on the Poco X2, everything works at 120 FPS. So something's wrong with the optimization with the Realme 6 Pro. I will update you guys if they fix it. So that's a bummer, but overall day-to-day performance, gaming performance, PUBG performance, everything's been solid on the Realme 6 Pro, and you will not find any reason to complain on this phone. And that's also going to be true for the battery life on the Realme 6 Pro. Like the Realme 6, the Realme 6 Pro also gets a 4300 mAh of battery. But the major difference here is that because it runs on the Snapdragon 720G compared to the G90T on the Realme 6, the battery life here is much better. If I give you a proper comparison, I used the Realme 6, the Realme 6 Pro, Poco X2 back and forth, and the screen on times that I got were around 7.5 hours on the Realme 6. I got around 7.5 hours on the Poco X2 as well, whereas on the Realme 6 Pro I used to get around 9 to 9.5 hours of screen on time on a similar usage. So that's really good. The Snapdragon 720G is very efficient on the Realme 6 Pro, and it will give you a very good battery life. You can easily get through more than 1.5 day without any problems on a single charge. And talking about that charging, 30 watt charging here, so the phone charges easily within 1 hour. So the charging plus the battery life combo is the best in this segment. It's gonna charge very quickly, the battery is gonna last very long thanks to the Snapdragon 720G, and even if you constantly use your phone at 90Hz, which I did, you will not complain about the battery life. It lasts longer than the Realme 6 Pro and also longer than the Poco X2. So if battery life is your major priority for a phone under 20,000 rupees and you want that high refresh rate also, then I think the Realme 6 Pro is a very good option. But where the disappointing part starts on the Realme 6 Pro is with the camera. So if you see the camera here, the setup is more or less same as you get on the Realme 6. You've got the 64 megapixel Samsung GW1 sensor, you've got the same macro lens and the same wide angle lens. The only difference here is that on the Realme 6 Pro, you get an added telephoto camera through which you can do, I think, up to 20 or 30x hybrid zoom. So that's interesting. But then once again, Realme, I don't know why they do that. They have limited the telephoto camera to only taking zoom photos. You cannot take portrait mode shots with the telephoto camera. But there is a workaround for that. Fortunately, this phone supports camera to API, so you can use Google Camera. And I've actually made a separate video of Realme 6 Pro's Gcam. So you can check this out here. I'm showing you a couple of samples. Overall, I think the camera is good. In fact, in daylight, in some of the tricky situations, the Realme 6 Pro has a great dynamic range. But the problem is that the Realme 6 Pro messes up when it comes to the colors. You can see here some of the colors look really artificial. It looks like I've put a filter on them or something. So Realme needs to fix their colors in a lot of situations. I think when the HDR is on, it overprocesses the colors a lot, and if Realme fixes that, I think even with the Samsung sensor, they can still be one of the best cameras in this segment. And especially when you go into low light, you see the weakness of that Samsung sensor. Poco X2 performs much better in low light with the Sony IMX686. But if you install Gcam on the Realme 6 Pro, you can actually get some really cool photos. Plus, you can also take portrait mode shots with the telephoto lens. That's great, and with Gcam, the Realme 6 Pro's camera does become very good. So if you're planning to buy this phone, don't forget to install Gcam. When it comes to the front camera, Realme has done a very interesting addition here, and you've got a wide angle lens. I personally did not use this wide angle lens a lot. Sometimes it messes up with the white balance, but it's good for the most part. You can use it for group selfies and things like that, but for normal selfies, I always stuck to the primary camera, and the primary selfie camera is also decent. Not the best in the segment, but you can get some good selfies out of it, and I don't think you will have any reason to complain. So the cameras, while they are not groundbreaking or the best in the segment, I'm happy that Realme gave you a wide angle selfie camera, and they also gave you a telephoto camera on the back. So really good cameras, just not the best. In terms of video also, you've got a super steady mode. I think it works at 1080p. Unfortunately, it does not work at 4K. There is no stabilization at 4K. So when you compare the Realme 6 Pro's footage with the Poco X2, the Poco X2 has much more stable footage because it does get, I think, electronic image stabilization at 4K. You can see the footage side by side and decide for yourself. But the Realme 6 Pro gets stabilization on the front facing camera, and plus because you've got the wide angle lens, if you're into vlogging or something, you can pick this phone over the Poco X2. The front facing camera is good. I'm glad Realme put a stabilization in there so you can use it for vlogging. But still, if Realme could have packed in an IMX686, then this phone would have really challenged the Poco X2. Anyways, that brings me to the display of the Realme 6 Pro, and it's a really nice 6.6 inch Full HD plus 90Hz display. It's an LCD panel, so don't expect AMOLED like colors, but for an LCD panel, the colors are nice, the viewing angles are good, and that 90Hz refresh rate is just great. It makes everything super smooth, and if you're coming from a phone that is 60Hz, you will definitely notice the difference, and you're gonna love this, and you will never feel like going back to a phone with a 60Hz display. The only thing, if I have to nitpick, I will say that the phone does not get that bright in comparison to the Poco X2, but I did not find it to be a big issue in my day-to-day usage, especially when all of us are staying indoors right now because of the lockdown. If I talk about Widevine L1, it's supported here. I have checked it in Netflix and Amazon Prime, and in both of these apps, you do get support for it. You can stream videos in Full HD. The only problem is that even though this display is HDR certified, Netflix is not supporting HDR. I have this similar problem on the Poco X2, so I think it's just the app thingy. So don't worry about it. You can easily stream in Full HD. It's just that the HDR might not work. That's okay. If you compare it to the Realme X2, you will love the colors of the display on the Realme X2 because of that AMOLED screen. So yeah, it's not as good as an AMOLED display, but it's as good as any LCD display can get in this price segment. You cannot have 90Hz display as well as AMOLED in this price segment, at least not yet. The build quality of the Realme 6 Pro is also great. There's glass on the back, it's protected by Gorilla Glass 5 I guess, but the frame is plastic. I like this lightning bolt design that they've got here on the back, it looks really different. But personally, I found the colors to be a little too dull for my taste. Poco X2 has a lot more brighter and attractive colors, but that is just a personal preference. Do let me know which color do you like on the Realme 6 Pro in the comments. But the phone overall feels nice and premium in the hand. It's not as bulky as the Poco X2, but it's still large and heavy. So if you like compact phones, you probably will not like this. The Realme 6 is a better compact option. Realme has also brought in the fingerprint sensor from the back now to the power button like the Poco X2, Redmi Note 9 Pro and so on, and it works really well. I prefer this location compared to the back one, and the speed and the accuracy of this sensor is spot on. The phone, as you expect, runs on Realme UI based on Android 10, and what I can say is that it looks pretty good. It works fast, it's very well optimized for the 90Hz display, and I haven't noticed any lags or optimization issues so far. In terms of ads, yes, there are ads, but you need to turn them off by going into the settings. The browser app, for example, like Xiaomi, can also be a little bit shady, so you're better off using Chrome or something. Otherwise, I did not find any issues with Realme UI. The call quality, network reception, everything's good on this phone. You've got support for dual SIM card as well as you've got support for an SD card, so you can increase the storage if you want to. Audio quality via the headphone jack was great. The loudspeaker is decent as well, no complaints there. And I did not notice any major issues in day-to-day usage with this phone. Also, pro tip, do make sure that you turn off Dolby Atmos when it comes to gaming, because otherwise it just enhances a certain sounds and it's very difficult to spot enemies with that. So just make sure that you turn this off, because I really hated this feature. And yeah, how can I forget the most marketed part of the Realme 6 Pro? This phone supports Navic, which is India's satellite for GPS navigation. Now I don't know how useful Navic is in comparison to phones that don't support Navic, because Poco X2 does not support Navic. I will try out the GPS performance once the lockdown ends, but I don't think you will see a very big practical difference between phones with Navic or without Navic. Time will say that, but as of now, if you want a phone with Navic support, you've got it on the Realme 6 Pro. But then the overall question is, should you buy the Realme 6 Pro or not? So first let's talk about the pricing. When this phone was announced, this phone was launched at 17,000 rupees, but now because of the GST hike, the Realme 6 Pro starts at 18,000 rupees and the Poco X2 starts at 17,000 rupees. For 18,000 rupees, I think this is still one of the best phones that you can put your money on in this price bracket. And I personally have no complaints with the Realme 6 Pro. You've got great performance, the battery life is good, you've got a 90Hz display, you've got a 64 megapixel camera, and this is the only phone in this price bracket to have a wide angle selfie camera as well as a telephoto lens. Plus the battery life and the charging combo is also the best in the segment, and I don't think you will have any problems if you choose to buy the Realme 6 Pro. Now if you compare it with the Poco X2, without any doubt, I feel Poco X2 feels a little bit more value for money package. But if battery life is important to you, Realme 6 Pro is great. But if camera performance is important to you, you want that 120Hz display, you want a better developmental support, then you can go with the Poco X2. In day-to-day usage, in PUBG performance and in all of those things, both of these phones are similar, and I will actually cover this in my detailed Realme 6 Pro versus Poco X2 comparison, which should be coming to the channel in a day or two. As of now, if I talk about the Realme 6 Pro, it's not a bad phone. I just feel that if the pricing was 1000 rupees less and if it was on par with the Poco X2, I would even strongly recommend this phone. But as of now, if you don't want to buy the Poco X2 for some reason, you can definitely go with the Realme 6 Pro. It's clearly not a bad choice, especially if you like Realme UI and you want to use Realme phones and you want that telephoto camera and that wide angle selfie camera. The Realme 6 Pro is a great option. If I compare it to the Realme X2, well, that's where things get tricky. Realme X2 is also a great phone. It's got an AMOLED display, but it's a 60Hz display. So the choice is on you. If you want to have an AMOLED display, the Realme X2 is one of the best phones under 20,000 rupees. Or if you want a 90Hz display, then you can go with Realme 6 Pro. So yeah, great job by Realme, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this review. What are your thoughts about the Realme 6 Pro? Do let me know in the comments. If you guys have any feedback, that also you can leave in the comments. You can also ask your questions on my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages. And yeah, as I said, Poco X2 versus Realme 6 Pro is coming very soon. So make sure that you subscribe and you press the bell icon. If you liked this video, then please hit the like button. If you did not like it, hit that dislike button twice. Thanks for watching, and I will be back in the notifications very, very soon. Peace.